Shields up, Iron Breakers, and welcome back to Monster Hunter Wilds. Today we are eating good, hunters, because we got not one, not two, but three whole new videos for Monster Hunter Wilds. We have a video on the basic mechanics of the game, another video on the focus mode, which I'm super curious to jump into and watch, and another video based on the greatsword. And from today until the beginning of Gamescom, we are going to be getting one new video for a new weapon every single day. My prediction is that it's going to go with the usual order, which, if I'm not mistaken, is like greatsword, longsword, and it's probably dual blade, sword, and shield. And, you know, it kind of like follows from there. Sometimes they change the order around a little bit and whatnot, but I'm pretty sure that tomorrow you're likely going to get the longsword, but maybe I'll be mistaken, who knows. Anyway, in this video, I'm going to be looking at basic mechanics and focus mode, and then I'm going to be doing a separate video talking about the greatsword, and there's a couple more content that I want to talk about. Most likely, since this is just my first approach at these gameplay mechanics, I'm going to be having more videos talking about these in the future, so hopefully you guys will look forward to that. But for now, let's begin with basic mechanics. Oh man, I'm really digging the music on this. Like, I'm sorry to pause. Actually, let's just watch it once and then I'll pause and I'll do my commentary. Basic mechanics. Hunters have two weapon states, sheathed and drawn. When your weapon is sheathed, you can move faster and use items. When your weapon is drawn, your movement is limited, but your weapon can be used to attack. Man, these visuals. The Sacred. I thought there was an age in there somewhere. The Sacred's a creature that can be mounted, providing you with a means of travel. Looks like there's a reasonable delay between calling him and him showing up. It can guide you automatically to the target monster for your current quest. Oh my god. We get to see UI. Oh man. We're going to be pausing through this video in a bit, so... Oh, he's a small boy. Oh, you slapped him right in the ass. While mounted, you can recover your health. Sharpen your weapon. Gather useful hunting items and materials. And you'll even gain the ability to switch between a primary and secondary weapon. The Slinger. Slinger is standard equipment for any hunter. It allows you to fire various types of ammo that you can gather in the environment. Get slapped. Flash pods. Use the hook slinger to gather items from a distance. Looks like we can gather anything because he gathered herbs, instantly crafted a potion. Interact with the environment. You can even use the hook slinger while riding your secret. Okay, so the vibes in this, like, bro, the music, this is like the first thing that hits me right in the face. I love this. I've been saying it repeatedly, but the music has been one of the things that has really, like, been front and center with these videos, and the music on this one, I freaking love it. It is amazing, dude. Like, this is like old western-y kind of like music. Sometimes it's used in like space games and stuff, or where you want to get that more grungy vibe of like the space mercenary kind of thing. Like, you know, I love this. I'm all about it. So from a music standpoint, I'm already like blown away. Now, we get to actually look at the visuals standing still, because usually you just see like different action shots and whatnot. We can see that there's some depth of field going on. I think we can see it better on this one. Or we maybe see it better a little bit further ahead, but I definitely noticed that there was some depth of field going on. Yeah, like right here. You can see some stuff like becoming a little bit out of focus in the background, which is good. The hunter is super sharp. I'm not sure if this is PC or console gameplay, but it is running at 30 FPS from what I can tell. So I would expect this to maybe be console. Otherwise, the game's going to be one hell of a demanding beast for any rig. I might have to upgrade my friggin' GPU to get this to run properly, but we're doing it. We're doing it, boys. New weapon is sheath, you can move it. So here they're telling you the basics. So this is one of the things that this is not for a lot of us that are like veterans at the beginning here. Oh, you can sheath your weapon, all of this stuff. This really is the basics of the basics. But it shows us a couple of interesting things. Like, look at the details on the weapon. Just the level of detail on these characters is absolutely insane. This is like the circle attacks. This looks very familiar to Monster Hunter World. Then again, I don't play Greatsword, so my knowledge of that is limited. Creature can be mounted, providing you with means of travel. As you can see, there's a little bit of a delay before he pops up. I'm just looking at the background here, trying to see if I can find anything, but it seems like they purposefully aren't giving us a whole lot. You can see that this is one of those pillars where we saw one of the Balaharas hanging off of the pillar. Love the Western vibe that they're giving this. Begin quest. Can guide you automatically to target for your current quest. We see scout flies, but we don't know exactly how we're doing the tracking yet. In this scene, we also gain access to the map. Shows us fairly familiar icons. However, the map is 3D this time around, which is kind of cool. We can actually see it animate a little bit. And you can see like we're above here. And there's like, you can see the verticality of the map, which is something that is kind of hard to see in other Monster Hunter games. It is very nice. You can see our little toad boy getting his ass cheeks slapped. Forgot his name. While mounted, you can recover your health. See, this is to be expected. The one that bothers me is this next one. Even recovering out like 1, 2, 3, 4. So sharpening has the exact same number of swipes as it does on the ground, which means that this, while it's not going to entirely make sharpening irrelevant, it is going to make it a whole lot easier. So basically, whenever you are getting pressured, this is actually something that I'm not a fan of, by the way. I've been talking about this ever since the beta for Monster Hunter Rise, because you could do this on top of Palamutes in Monster Hunter Rise, and I didn't like it, because I think that it takes some degree of skill of you being able to like read the monster well enough to be able to sharpen in the middle of combat. I think that there's a little bit of skill expression there. I know that there's a ton of people that disagree with me on that. That's perfectly fine. Listen, you're not going to convince me otherwise. Just don't even try. This is my opinion. This is the way that I feel about it. I've thought about this thing a million times over. You're not going to convince me. Like the thing is, right? You're fighting a monster and you've already seen that you can call on Sacred in the middle of combat, and therefore, you know, you're fighting a monster and you just like start running away from the monster because like, oh, I got to sharpen, run away, call Sacred, get on top of Sacred. Sacred outruns the monster unless monsters have tools, which hopefully they will, to punish you if you're trying to sharpen on Sacred. I think that would be cool. If monsters have tools to punish you on that would give it a little bit more of a justifiable, you know, as an action. But this way I just feel like it's maybe a little bit too easy. You can just get on top of Sacred, outrun monsters, and sharpen, you know, takes a little bit away from skill expression, in my opinion. But again, you know, I know that a lot of people disagree with me on that, which is fine. You'll get the ability to switch from primary or secondary weapon. By the way, for those of you that aren't aware yet, those weapons can be anything. They don't have to be different weapons. So if you want to like, no, but I want to play with 2 charge blades, you can do that. Nobody can stop you from doing it. Oh, I want to play with 2 dual blades, 2 long swords, or, you know, there's no limitations. 2 bow guns, everything goes. So the slinger in here, we can see that is a much more compact slinger. It still has the hook slinger, but notice that in their basics, they're not using this to clutch onto monsters. So I'm going to assume that this version of it cannot function as a clutch claw, which is one of the things that a lot of people are curious about. Here we see our hunter collect some type of ammunition. We don't know exactly what this type of ammunition does. This looks to me like Crystal Burst. It's got like all these crystals and stuff. Let's hear fire it. Boom. Yep, it flinches him. And then in here, she's also using flash pods. I'm assuming that this is going to work similar to what we had in Monster Hunter World, wherein you load the flash pods, you craft them, and then you load them into the slinger, and then you fire them. Makes sense. Look at all these crystals. I was like looking at this because I was trying to identify other potential mechanics that we would see here, but they've purposefully, carefully selected the shots that we get to see. I'm probably going to miss one or two things, but yeah. Use the hook slinger to gather items from a distance. Now, in my opinion, the reason why they drink after this is because auto-crafting is still a thing. For those who don't know, I mean, if you've played any of the recent Monster Hunters, you'll be aware of what auto-crafting is. You pick up herbs, automatically crafts a potion, you get to drink it. I think that's what they're trying to illustrate here. So you can basically hook sling things from a distance, and it automatically will craft the item if you have the auto-crafting options enabled, and you can instantly use the item after doing the thing. Interact with the environment. So we can actually use the hook slinger to also drop stuff on them. I believe this can also be done with ammo. So like you can shoot ammo and maybe there's like a range thing wherein you can use the slinger, which, you know, is just in case you don't have ammunition and you're like close to the thing. You can use the slinger to trigger the trap. Or I think you can also just load ammo and shoot the thing with the ammo. I think that'll still be a thing, and it makes sense. Can be used while riding Sacred. And that's pretty much all they're showing with the basic mechanics, as YouTube just completely gets destroyed. Now, let's see here. I have to go to the videos thing. Let's look at focus mode. I am super curious about this. Focus mode allows you to carefully aim your attacks or guards. This is a little bit loud, my apologies. Focus mode allows you to carefully aim your attacks or guards. So you actually get an aiming reticule. Attacks or guards you perform in focus mode will be directed where the camera is facing. Directed blocks? I need to not pause, sorry. I'm so excited about it. While hunting, attacking the same parts of monster containers so may create wounds! I told you! I told you! You use the focus mode to highlight the wounds! It's exactly what I said! Attacks to the wounds will deal more damage than normal. Focus mode will also highlight any weak points the monster has exposed. Focus strikes. Was that a gun lance? Focus strikes are special attacks that deal extra damage to wounds and weak points. Use focus mode to zero in on a monster's weakness and deal major damage. Okay, so it's exactly like I said. It's exactly like I said. You go in the focus mode and you can see things that are wounded, but the way in which you wound them is by hitting that part repeatedly. You actually don't need focus mode to generate wounds. You use the focus mode to see which part of the monster is wounded, and then you can use focus mode for the punish, it seems. So let's take a proper look-see here. Focus mode allows you to carefully aim your attacks or guards. So one of the first things that I wanted to point out is like, I love the idea of being able to aim your guards carefully. Another cool thing is that you can see this is a monster charging at you, and look at how slow he's charging. Look at how slow that is. This is a good thing. And I know that there's going to be a lot of people going to be like, it's so slow, it's like you're playing in slow motion. Yes, that's the point! A more grounded monster hunter is meant to be slower and more methodical. I love this. This to me, I absolutely like that charge right there. Seeing that monster charge at the hunter like that, that to me is like chef's kiss. It's exactly what I want, because I want to have the contrast experience. I want to have a monster hunter that's kind of like Rise and Sunbreak, which is arcade, balls to the walls, gigafast monsters that don't stop, and you have the tools to go, you know, you blast dash, you do all the crazy mobility stuff that we have with the insects and all. Really cool stuff. We've had that dish. It was really cool. Loved it. Now, I want the other dish. I want the hunting experience. I want slower, more methodical combat. And if they're doing something like focus mode allows you to aim your attacks or guards, it means that likely the combat is going to tone down the pacing a little bit. This is a very good thing. Absolutely love it. Absolutely here for it. And I can't even, you know, I'm just beginning to think of the possibilities for carefully having to aim attacks and guards. Like, imagine a monster that shoots something and then, you know, like a projectile or something, then that projectile circles around like a boomerang or something, comes in from behind, and you're expected to, like, use focus mode, turn around, block, and then turn back to the monster. That's cool. I like that. Carefully aim your attacks or guards. Wait. I just realized that. Whoa, bro. He turned from a charge attack on the greatsword. Now, those of you who don't play greatsword, or those of you who are new to Monster Hunter, that's not how it works. You have a little bit of leeway to aim some of your attacks, but generally, you know, you start an attack going this way. You don't just get to, like, do a 180 like he's about to do here. Look at this. He's charging facing this direction, and he's going to use focus mode to 180. See, I was just talking about slowing down the pace. This does the exact opposite. This speeds up the pace because it gives you more mobility to where you're aiming your attacks. Interesting. So maybe the pace isn't slowing down quite as much as I was expecting, especially if they're letting you just, like, course correct the direction of your attacks. This is going to make the game... there's no other way to put it. It is going to make the game easier, specifically on weapons that require the ridiculous degree of precision, like the greatsword. That is going to make the weapon slightly easier to play. You'll still have to know your openings because you're not going to land a true charge slash without knowing, like, whether or not the monster has an opening. But you will be able to aim it better, which is good. This allows you to course correct. I like that. Oh, the sliding slash of the sword and shield. I love this move. Wait. Is he actually on a slope, or can you... Because this doesn't seem like a steep enough slope for a slide. Is this a new move for the sword and shield? You just get to do the sliding slash? Oh my god, I would love that. Oh, look at that repositioning right there. I love that. It's such a, this is going to be something that a lot of people are like, what is he talking about? Look at that little strafing to the left. That is cool. That is really cool. I don't know what that is, but I like that. Because you get to, like, reposition amidst of slashes, which increases the mobility of the sword and shield. Fan-friggin-tastic. A little lick from behind. While hunting, attacking the same parts of a monster continuously may create wounds on that body part. Like I said, you attack the same part. Oh, you can actually see it. Look, right there on the monster. So you don't even need focus mode. Focus mode is just to help you. And I think it's smart because as we go further and further towards ultra realistic visuals, sometimes it's hard to make out the finer details of things like a wound. And I like this style of wound better than the one that we have in World, where, like, when you do the tenderizing, it's just like there's scars all over the place, like white scarring on the monster. That wound is much more subtle and actually matches the attack that we're doing. I'm hoping that different weapons get, like, different wound markings that they place on the monster. Using focus mode will highlight those wounds. Attacks to wounds will deal more damage than normal. So you can see him attacking, same spot, deals more damage. You even have the same iconography that we have for the tenderize. So, like, when something is tenderized, you also get these little arrows on top of it. So it's the same thing. It works just like tenderizing. The difference is you don't have to do, like, some crazy clutch claw maneuver in order to tenderize. It's just like, oh, I want to deal more damage to the legs. This is actually a really good system because it rewards skilled play. This is something that a lot of people already do without doing the tenderizer. You know, because, like, if you have your average hunter, right? Somebody that just, oh, I just play for fun, whatever. They might be attacking the monster all over the place. But if you have something that's like, no, I'm hunting for specific materials like claws or something, they know they need to hit the legs. The problem is that if you have to, like, do some, you know, clunky thing like, oh, I got to shoot my clutch claw and then attach the monster and tenderize. But this way, it's more like, no, I want the claws. I know which attacks to do to get the claws. I'm going to go get those claws. And you go in there and you just start smacking the legs, and eventually you're going to create a wound. So it's just a matter of paying attention. And if you're not sure, pop up focus mode real quick, and you can see whether or not it's wounded already. Focus mode also highlight any weak points the monster has exposed. Okay, so it's not just wounds, it's also weak points. Focus strikes. God, look at that. Good look at that. That's a beautiful thing. Not this one. The one that everybody's going to be excited about is whatever the hell this is. A little cut. But the real good one is this one. I mean, come on. I know Jono picked this footage specifically so that I could look at it and just be in awe looking at my beautiful gun lance. Just like salivating like, oh, God, gun lance. Look at that. That looks like a wyvern steak popping off right there. We're going to have to go frame by frame on this one. And I love that design. Look at, oh my God, dude. That gun lance design. Yeah, look at the worm steak is like, oh my God. Can I, please, Capcom, please, more bitrate, please. 15,000 bitrate, please. No, but you can see the worm steak right there, fully loaded. Look at how fast it is. It was an explosion. Maybe it's not the worm steak. Maybe it's the other one. Maybe it's erupting cannon. No. Oh no. I saw the worm steak stay on the monster. Please explode. Oh, please explode. I'm so scared. No wyvern steak blast, please. Please, no wyvern steak blast. I hope that thing explodes. If we have wyvern steak blast, I'll be so mad. But at least the animation is fast. Like, look at how fast that is. Let's look at that again. Yeah, that's a fast animation. So that's not, even if it is worm steak blast, which I will not be happy about, it's at least fast. But I love the design of this gun lance, dude. Like, no joke. I know that it's easy to just be like, oh, you're just like fanboying. It's like, no, I legitimately love the design. Like, look at this shield. Shield looks amazing. It's like all sci-fi looking with some, I mean, not sci-fi, more like steampunkish looking with some tech stuff going on. Dude, it is amazing. I love it. Oh my God, dude, look at that shield. And I love the move. The move looks great. Focus strikes are special attacks that deal extra damage to wound and weak points. Use focus mode to zero in on a monster's weakness and cause major damage. What type of shot was that? Oh, that's a charge shot. Bowgunners will know more about that one than I will. But goddamn, dude, this is so hype. You can't tell me you're not hyped after that, bro. There's no way. This looks friggin' amazing. I am here for it. I'm loving what I'm seeing in terms of the mechanics. Looks friggin' fantastic. I can't wait to play it when I go to Gamescom. It's going to be an absolute blast. But for now, I don't really have a whole lot more to say. Did you guys notice anything that I might have missed? Write it in the comments. I might do a follow-up video talking about the things that you guys find important in these videos. But right now, I'm going to be recording another one for the Greatsword. We're going to be taking a look at those mechanics in as much detail as I possibly can. Thank you all very much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video and you want to watch more Monster Hunter Wilds coverage, always remember, I'm going to be covering every single thing Monster Hunter in this channel, with the exception of Monster Hunter now, because I don't really play mobile games. But yeah, subscribe, bell notification icon, hit the like button, and thank you. Love you all. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strong, stay safe. Peace out.